Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to the second episode of Spotify podcast.
Yeah, hope you
Hope
enjoyed our
you
first
all are
first
doing well.
episode.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, what's up, Dhanush? Been a
nothing
busy
much.
week, I guess, for
Just
as a sports fan.
yeah, it was such a refreshing week. Finally, Premier League is
Uh,
back. Formula One is
yeah.
going
Oh,
on. So many
yes,
things is
yes,
going on.
yes.
So it
Thank
kind of
God,
feels
Premier League
normal.
is back.
Yeah, it kind of feels
Yeah,
normal now.
yeah.
Yeah,
Feels like the good old days,
yeah, yeah.
which is just 6 months ago, which is just 6 months back.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to escape into a different world where it was normal and then come back to reality after everything gets
Correct.
over. Right.
Correct, because like what I mean, there is only very few things that you can be passionate about
Yeah,
sitting at home, right?
yeah,
And one of those main things is something like a sport,
yeah,
and it's good to have some nice sporting action back in the back, and
yeah.
that we can all enjoy it.
Exactly.
So before we start with the episode, I just want to remind you guys, whoever is watching, that FPL is on. We have our own league, private league called Sportify Fantasy Babes.
Yeah.
So the code is there in the previous episode, in the first episode. It is that we have
And we're
linked it in
also
the
gonna
description.
put in this episode as well.
Yeah, we'll try and do that, but
Yeah.
you go and find it in the first episode,
Yeah.
so that we'll get more views as well. So we already have we have more than 30 people,
Yeah.
about 30 to 35 people in the league. So
Yeah.
that's quite a lot of people, and
True.
a lot of you whoever is interested in FPL are more than welcome to join our league. We will
Yeah.
try and link the code in the description, and it is there available in the previous episode as well, so you can
Mm-hmm.
go visit that episode and you can check it out in the description.
Yeah. And also step in
Okay.
just one more thing that I want to add
Yeah.
on. Like, people who
Sure.
are watching the podcast or listening to it on their podcast platform, if you're interested in putting in your opinion, or like if you want us to discuss about something, just comment down below in our YouTube video, or leave a voice
Exactly.
note
Right.
on your Anchor podcast platform. So we'll discuss about
Yeah.
it in
Yeah.
the next episode.
Correct.
Yeah.
Also, very important, please do follow us on Spotify and
Yeah.
all the other podcast platforms, because it is very important,
Yeah.
for us to grow as a community.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to put in your effort and use all your senses and watch it on a YouTube stream or a YouTube podcast, you can always plug in your earphones and listen to us on Spotify and simultaneously finish your other works as well.
Yeah.
If you find this too long, or if it is dragging a little bit,
Yeah.
because it is sports and we can't wrap up an entire episode in a mere 30 minutes.
Exactly.
We are trying to cover all the major sporting actions
Yeah.
throughout the week, or maybe in the past couple of months, and we will try and discuss interesting topics. So it might extend sometimes beyond 45 minutes, or maybe even 1 hour.
Yeah.
So please stick with us. We'll try and improve the quality on this. Do listen to us on Spotify and all the other podcast platforms.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
Stephen,
I think we can start on that
yeah,
note, right?
why don't you start us off?
Yeah. So starting off, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Starting off, I think we should start off with tennis,
Yeah.
because it was a very very intense, for the lack of a better word, final between Dominic Thiem and Zverev.
Mm-hmm.
It was very intense. Like the first two sets had me when I saw the first two sets and Zverev took the first two sets quite comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is this? Because Thiem had come into this final without having dropping any set. He dropped not one set and he made it to the finals. That's how ruthless he's been throughout the tournament.
Wow.
And Zverev had to struggle really. He had to work very hard. He was against Pablo Carreno Busta, who was a semi-final opponent, against whom he was 2 sets down, and he came back from that and he conquered Busta, and he got into the final. So it was a very worthy final, I would say. But if you watch the first 2 sets, you would definitely feel like this is clearly a one-sided victory, because Zverev was just killing it.
Yeah.
Mainly because it is for Thiem it is a second Grand Slam final. For Sasha, it is the first Grand Slam final, and I think it was that beginner wala thing, no? Thiem was very, very nervous. It was very evident in the shots that he was playing. There were a lot of unforced errors. There were a lot of double faults that both the players were making. But man, what a comeback! like the resurrection of TM. And clearly, this is why TM is such a hot favorite, to conquer the tennis circuit or take the tennis world by storm in the future.
Did
And you
TM
could see that in the remaining 3 sets.
did TM play the long game, just tire him out and for the first 2 sets and then take him on the next 3 sets?
Exactly. That's what he did. I don't think he tried to tire him out in the first 2 sets, because first 2 sets Zverev won quite comfortably. I think it was 6-2 or 6-3. I'm not sure, but it was a very easy victory. Like the 2 sets he just breezed past it. But the third set again, the third and fourth set was easy for TM, and the fifth set was damn intense.
Yeah.
So it was 7-6, and I think the final points were 8-6, 7-6. I mean 7-6, 8-6. Yeah, something like that. So they had a tiebreaker, and 7-6. I think TM won at 8-6. So it was a marathon match. It was like one of those Djokovic Nadal games. So it lasted for about almost 4.5 hours. 4 hours, I think.
Yeah.
So and you have at the presentation ceremony, when the runner-up is presented with the shield and the winner is presented with the trophy. So when the runner-up the runner-up was Sasha Zverev. When he started giving a speech, he got really emotional and excuse me, he couldn't string together words. He couldn't put together words because he couldn't control, and he just burst out crying. And all throughout his speech, he was just crying, and it was very emotional to watch because it being his first Grand Slam final, and he comes from a lineage of this tennis family. Like his father was a tennis player, his brother is again another wonderful tennis player. So he was like, I want to make my family proud and all of that stuff. It was very tough watching it. And also both the players, they've been very good friends as well for the last 6-7 years. They're off the court, they're like Nadal and Federer. They have a great relationship off court as well. So it was so nice and heartwarming to watch that they were there for each other. Like Zverev mentioned in his speech that what sort of impact TM has had on his career, and vice versa. TM congratulated Zverev's team and mentioned that what an impact he has had on his career and all that stuff. So the game was amazing. If you watch the first 2 sets, you wouldn't feel like, oh, this is some kind of a final. It felt very one-sided. But then TM goes on to win the third set, and he takes the game from there on. It's absolute madness. Yeah,
I kind of feel like TM played the long game, because TM actually won the semifinals with just 3 sets, right? And Zverev had to play the whole 5 sets.
Yeah, he did not drop even one set until the final. Like from the first round to the semifinals, he won all the games straight sets. But that goes on to show that what a good player Zverev is again. Zverev is this incredibly powerful player. He's got probably one of the best serves in the game today, and he's very good with his forehand. Also, his net game is damn good. Baseline game is pretty good. And a very tall, big man like he is, So it was very tough for TM. But TM, for whatever character he is, I think he's probably got the best forehand and the backhand at the moment. Amongst the young gen people. And he also has got great movement across the court, and wonderful player to watch. It was great watching both of them play.
It looks like tennis has a very promising future for us after Roger and Rafa.
This is probably the first of the many Grand Slams that TM is going to win.
True. And what about the women's finals?
Women's finals was again so Naomi Osaka from Japan, she won. This is her second US Open that she's winning. Last year she defeated Serena Williams in a very controversial match. And it's interesting. I was reading one of the comments on YouTube when I was checking out the highlights that Naomi Osaka has had 2 very weird US Open runs, like 2 very weird US Open finals, where the previous finals was a very controversial final wherein Serena blasted the umpire, and she started crying and all of that stuff, doing all of that drama. And this is like the COVID final where not one person was there to watch her win. So Osaka again is like she started as the next big thing in women's tennis. Because she almost sometimes reminds me of Serena, because she uses a brute power. Because if you look at the first set, so she played against Victoria Azarenka, who again is another very good player. Victoria Azarenka demolished she destroyed Naomi Osaka. I think it was 6-1 or something.
6-1, yeah.
And then, 6-1 or something. And
Yeah.
then, so I thought, fuck, this is going to be a very one-sided affair. And next set will be, Victoria Azarenka will wrap it up by the next set.
Yeah.
But man, what a comeback. She was a little jittery in the first set. And by the second set, I think she picked up a mojo and she was back in her elements. Her biggest strength is her brute force, her brute power. And she's very good with her movements as well.
Yeah.
So great game. Naomi Osaka was wonderful to watch again.
Yeah. So all in all, like both of the results, I would say not that surprising, but a very good watch.
Yeah. Right? Correct. Exactly. Yeah.
So with that, let's move on to F1, Formula One. Let's move on to that.
Yes.
So
I think you are most well equipped to elaborate on this. What happened over the last weekend?
So I think I don't think you might have watched the race, but I think you definitely would have caught the highlights as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never watch any of the F1 races because I find it too boring. I find it too dragging because it's just a bunch of men who's got charged up hormones and who's high on adrenaline rush and just racing each other. So I don't think I would want to watch that for a stretch of 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't find it very interesting. But I do find the highlights very exciting. I know this is damn weird because all the F1 fans will be like, will absolutely bombard this video if they are watching.
I know. A lot of people will get offended. True. For sure.
No, but I do enjoy F1 because I'm a huge, I can't call myself a fan, but I used to enjoy when it was the battle between Vettel and Fernando Alonso. So I'm a huge Alonso fan, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in school, I was introduced to F1 because of my friends. Because of a friend of mine who's very close to me. He's a huge F1 junkie. Mm-hmm. So that's when I got introduced to F1 and all that stuff. And Vettel was absolutely dominating. And there was this one season when Vettel was ahead. Vettel won the World Championship by being ahead of Alonso by just 2 points.
Yeah.
So all throughout the season, I was rooting for Alonso, and I thought that he will go on to create that upset and he will get the championship. But sadly, he could not finish. I think Vettel had to finish fourth. The last race in an F1 calendar is the Brazilian Grand Prix, right?
Usually,
I think it is the Brazilian Grand Prix. So I think Vettel just had to finish fourth or something, and then he would win the championship. So Vettel finished fourth, and despite Alonso winning the race, I think, or was he runner-up? He ended up just 2 points below Vettel. It was damn sad to see Alonso crash out like that. So those days ka races I used to follow. Mm-hmm. Now also I do keep a track of the results. I do watch the highlights, but not the entire race.
But now a lot of people have their own reasons for not watching F1 nowadays. But to each their own. So so let's just get on with the Tuscan Grand Prix. So I would say that qualifying, there was not any surprise. Like Mercedes 1-2.
It's just another day, right?
Like what is even
Mercedes?
Yeah, what is even I don't even see the need for doing a qualifying now. Like just 1-2, just give it to the Mercedes. That's it, done. let everyone race for third, fourth, fifth, and all that. It doesn't even make qualifying. It's kind of boring nowadays. Like you always get Mercedes 1-2. It's not a surprise. Actually, I think we have a mutual friend who is just getting into F1 right now. And shout out to Meghna if she's watching this. She's just getting into F1, and actually when I was out with her and when I was talking about Formula One, I was watching the race. I was just watching it. I was at home, we were out, and I was watching the race on my phone, and the race was about to start, and she asked me who is in first and second. Then she was like, don't tell me, it's just Mercedes. Okay, I already know. Even she who just got into F1, even she knows how F1 is right now.
Correct.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Correct.
So anyways,
this is possibly, I don't know, it could be it could be the worst time and it could be the best time. I'm not sure. I think it is the worst time to introduce F1 to somebody who's starting out,
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe somebody who's
That's
starting
true.
to watch F1 because all you get to see is the top two people dominating. Right?
Exactly, and it's not a bad thing.
Correct.
And
because some people, if you take the example of sport, right, you want to see competitiveness, right?
Exactly,
you want to see rivalry. You want to see 2 or 3 people going at each other. There is nothing like that in F1, right? The closest person who can give a very tough time to the Mercedes ranks are is Verstappen.
Yeah.
And Verstappen has, his car is not as good as the Mercedes car, but he still tries his best to do that.
Yeah,
But I
exactly.
think he is well miles ahead of reaching what Hamilton has achieved, right?
Yeah, true.
Correct.
True.
Yeah. And this was the 90th, I think 90th or 91st provisional pole position that he got.
95th
Which is
or
just
something
ridiculous.
like that. Yeah, exactly.
This
Yeah.
is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Yeah. So Hamilton, the two Mercedes had the pole and the second position, and the two Red Bull had the other two. So the race started and it was actually a pretty good race. Like, a lot of people were thinking that maybe Bottas actually might get a win after such a long time.
Yeah.
Hamilton was getting his win throughout the season. And then, like, I would say that, like, the result is not surprising because, it was just Mercedes 1-2. But other than that, everything else, other than that 1-2, was very exciting. Like, especially when the crash, the kind of funny, the one thing that I found funny was like Gasly won the last race, and then in this one, he got, I don't know if he got confident, I don't know what.
Oh yeah, correct. That was another interesting fact.
Yeah.
All the podium, all the people who finished on podium 1, 2, 3 in the last race were DNF. Did not finish this race.
Yeah,
which is very interesting, which I found very interesting.
I don't know.
Carlos Sainz, Gasly, and I don't know who the third person was.
I think it was who
Lando
was
Norris. No.
No, it wasn't Lando Norris.
Was it?
It was Stroll. Yeah, Stroll.
Yeah, Stroll.
Yeah.
Correct. Stroll.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if Gasly got a little bit confident or I don't know what. Like, he just flew into Verstappen. Like, Verstappen, he didn't even see it coming. Like,
Okay.
The words that Verstappen was using on his radio, like.
I think I heard this. I saw both the crashes. Was it Gasly who crashed into Verstappen or was it Magnussen?
No.
Was it Grosjean?
It was Gasly.
I think it was a Haas car, right?
No. That was the other crash. So the first crash was Gasly and Verstappen. So, Verstappen, like, it's been 2 races where he had been DNF. Yeah, Verstappen.
Correct. And Verstappen is a hothead. Like, he can't control his emotions. Right?
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like this absolute teenage dickhead if he goes out of his rage.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's a hothead, but he doesn't, like, like, reserve himself. Like, he's ready.
He's not composed. He's not composed. He does not have it in him to compose himself, right? If he's unhappy with something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he just says what it is. Like, he doesn't, like, hold it back, and he doesn't, like, put all cherries around it. He just puts it how it is. That's why everyone loves Verstappen. Like, he just says what it is. That's it. Like, when he was like about to win the pole, like, he was like, why don't you guys drink some water? It's gonna be a long weekend and all that. Like, stuff like that on the radio. So that's why people love Verstappen. Like, he's just himself. So So the first crash was Gasly and Verstappen, and I really don't think it was Gasly's fault, but it was just like, there were so many people going into it and such a fast track.
I think he was trying to overtake someone, and he didn't saw this person in front of him, and he went and crashed or something.
Exactly.
I remember seeing it in the highlights, but I didn't know it was actually Gasly.
Yeah. So after that, that crash happened. So then they had to, like, there was a yellow flag and all that. And then again, I think they put out a safety car, and then they had to, like, restart it again. And when at this time Bottas was actually in the lead, and actually, like, Bottas actually did the restart very intelligently, where he slowed down the entire pack so that he could, like, take off from Hamilton and gain some lead. But I think it was I think it was Giovinazzi who actually, like, didn't calculate, like, how it's gonna be, and he just rammed into, I think it was Roman Grosjean. I think he rammed into Roman
because
Grosjean.
I heard his Grosjean's radio talk. It was like, what the fuck is this? Does he want to kill us or what? And all that stuff.
No. He actually rammed into Magnussen. Yeah, he actually rammed into Magnussen, and Grosjean was actually behind him. Yeah, behind him, and he was. But like,
I heard Grosjean's radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Grosjean on the radio.
Yeah, that's because, like, he was yelling at the radio saying that, that was so dangerous. What is wrong with these people and all that, So, and that caused a huge crash. Like, I think there were like 4 or 5 cars that DNF just because of that.
Shit.
Which was just crazy, like, but it did make the race very exciting. Like, it was just 9 laps, and there were so many crashes, and which obviously shouldn't happen. But, nowadays there is nothing exciting about F1 other than that, So I'm like, I'm going to take whatever I can
Don't you think it's crazy on our part that, we find people actually crashing and getting into accidents? We find very crazy. We find really interesting.
Exactly.
that's how we are wired, I guess.
And I would say that actually that actually it says a lot about the sport as well. Like it's not very competitive where you actually are looking for crashes to make the race more exciting. Like I think that
Correct.
actually establishes like how I think not I mean not competitive for I mean how
unless
not
somebody
competitive Formula
unless
One
somebody
is.
entirely does it unless somebody entirely does a 180 and reverses
Yeah,
goes reverse
exactly.
on the entire track.
Oh my God. But it was like, but I think the only thing that, that was notable in the race was like, the crashes. And also we had to talk about Albon. Like Albon put out such a good
Oh,
race.
his first podium.
His first
What a guy,
podium.
dude. What a guy.
Yeah, like such an
Yeah.
achievement for him. Like, this is actually his third time for a podium and he finally got it. And the last two times he actually crashed
Yeah.
with Hamilton. Like,
Hamilton screwed it up. Yes,
yeah,
Hamilton
exactly.
screwed it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I
So,
remember
so
those races. Yes.
exactly. And he was like so happy. Like, I think he was the first Thai driver who actually won the podium. So even that was like such a
Oh,
milestone for him.
really?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
Nice.
even that
Yeah,
was
and
such a
he's a very
milestone.
good driver.
A very
Very
good
good
driver.
driver. I
Like,
think.
yeah.
I think. Yeah. Obviously, if you have someone like a Verstappen in your team, you will always end up being the shadow or play second fiddle to the such kind of a driver, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it point to be noted that Albon himself, like unlike Gasly was, how Gasly was in, I mean, when he was at Red Bull,
Mm-hmm.
Albon is way better than him. I mean,
Yeah,
when he's
exactly.
at Red Bull, and he's a
Yeah.
much talented driver, right?
Yeah, true. And
And he's
also
an
like,
incredible driver to watch.
yeah, and also one thing what I've noticed about Albon is like he's such a he's a really good overtaker. Like the overtaking that he does,
Yeah,
is
exactly.
he's like
Yeah,
in
he's
if
very
you,
fearless.
yeah, if you go and watch like the last two Grand Prix, like the overtaking that he has done is like really good, like really like championship level kind of driving. It's really good. I
True.
just hope that Verstappen and Albon actually get a better car so that or a car that is actually equal to Mercedes, that so that there could be a level playing field and like you truly see like what the drivers are made of.
But I think I don't know. This is my perspective. I feel like if sort of Albon has to sort of get into that championship material driver, he need to switch teams because
Yeah,
as long as
exactly.
he's in Red Bull, he's with Red Bull, he will definitely be under the shadows of
Yeah.
Verstappen. I
Or
don't think Verstappen. It'll hurt Verstappen's
true.
ego also to
Yeah.
let him under the wing and give him that equal status.
True.
That's what happened with Daniel Ricciardo and Verstappen.
Yeah, exactly.
And eventually they had to let him go as well.
Yeah,
So I think he has to maybe go to a Mercedes.
Yeah.
I think 2021 Bottas has renewed his contract with Mercedes.
Yeah.
So maybe in 2022, if they're planning on getting rid of Bottas, and maybe they're looking at an option. So I think Albon should be their driver, and he'll give a very tough fight.
Or let them please get Verstappen. I want to see Hamilton versus Verstappen. That would be so fun.
I don't think Christian Horner
No.
will do everything that is got in his power to keep Verstappen with.
Yeah, true. That is true. Like he's their marquee driver, so they are gonna do everything that they can to keep him. Yeah, that's true.
But I prioritize him over somebody like Ricciardo, so you can imagine.
Yeah, true. But I hope like this was actually a very fun race to watch, and also like the previous race, Monza was also very fun to watch. Like two Italian Grand Prix were actually very fun to watch. So I hope that the next race, that is the Russian Grand Prix, is going to be the same kind of intensity and same kind of maybe bring a little bit of competitiveness, with the tires and all that. I'm just hoping as an F1 fan, it is exciting.
Yeah, you know what we could do, like in the first race, how there was a penalty given to Hamilton, just for the fuck of it. From every race from now onwards, you just have to give a penalty to both the Mercedes drivers. Ask them to start 10 or 20 seconds late, just to see how competitive they had. Because when Hamilton is leading the pack, he's got no driver in front of him. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
And he finishes the race
I don't see him overtaking at all nowadays.
Yeah, and he finishes the race like 20 seconds late, 30 seconds late. Like it's not even funny. Like
one entire lap behind him. It's just ridiculous. It's so boring to watch.
I know, dude. So I just hope Russian Grand Prix is actually much more exciting than I mean it's kind of short-sighted, but still I hope it is. As a fan, like no more crashes, but it is much more exciting. Yeah,
but crashes is what makes it exciting.
No.
But do you think? No. What do you? I mean, I think. What is his name? Hamilton. He just have to win. He just has to win a few more races, right? To win
I think. Yeah. I think he has like. Wait. Let me just.
100 Verstappen has around 110 or 20 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
He is. So 30 points ahead of him.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton actually has 190 and Bottas has 135.
Wow.
So there is actually
Wow.
so there is a significant point lead, like 55, I think. Yeah, 55 points lead.
I think Hamilton just has to win. I mean,
Yeah,
he can clock 3 podiums, and
yeah.
then I think he can win. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I think there are still, like, I think there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Grand Prix left. So I
Wow,
think there is still a shouting. I
man.
mean, there is still a shot for Bottas to actually catch up to Hamilton if Hamilton doesn't, fuck it up, in the next few races. But I don't see Hamilton doing that, especially with the car that
Given
they have.
Hamilton's pedigree, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that would be a reasonable argument for Hamilton. But
Yeah,
anyways, I'm
unless you
just,
give him a penalty every race.
yeah, exactly. I hope that happens. I hope that happens.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it for F1. So I think it's high time we move on to football. The Premier League
Yes, bring it on. Bring it on,
finally,
bitches.
finally began. So I think
I mean, what finally? As in the new season begins.
yeah,
That's all.
finally the new season began, right? Yeah. So I've been waiting for a long time, and also, like, we're gonna get into the main match of the
No,
Saturday.
no, you know what? No,
Yeah.
you know what? It doesn't feel like there was a long break in between. It just feels like this is the continuation of the previous
Yeah.
season
Yeah.
because
Kinda.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
break
Yeah.
between the previous season and this season it was just so short, right?
Yeah. True.
And
True.
the
True. True.
international
True.
break also, people played, I
Yeah.
mean,
True.
countries just played 2 or 3 games, that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. But because of the
So it wasn't that
coronavirus,
big
it
of a
actually
break.
feels a very long time, compared to back then.
Well, nah, I like it never felt like that because it just feels like an extended version of the
Yeah.
previous season.
It kind of does.
That's
Yeah.
all.
But it's okay. We are not complaining. We are not complaining.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
As football fans,
Yeah.
football actions on the weekends is gold.
I'm not complaining. Yeah. So I think
Yeah,
today we'll just discuss about the Saturday matches that happened, and I think for the next
yeah,
episode we'll discuss about the rest episodes. So before we get to the
yeah,
main
yeah.
one, let's just gloss over the other three matches that happened. So let's talk about Arsenal
Sure,
versus
sure.
Fulham. Like, Arsenal
Oh yeah,
completely
I
dominated.
I am correct. Like I am not a fan of Arsenal, but I just watched just for the sake of Aubameyang because I
Yeah,
had him in my team and he was my captain.
yeah,
I just wanted to see if Aubameyang get me points, and it was a very clinical performance, a very satisfying. I mean, I would say satisfactory performance by Arsenal
exactly.
because they're
And
damn good,
and also
pretty
their
good.
new signing, like Gabriel, he even scored a
Oh
goal,
shit!
and he
You know
played
what?
well.
I had put him in my team as my centre back, but
Okay.
then I removed him thinking that he's just a centre back. He's not going to get me any points. And I put who did I put? I put Kyle Walker-Peters, man. Fuck. I put Kyle
Oh,
Walker-Peters and Tyreek Mitchell. Guess what? I put Tyreek Mitchell on my bench. Tyreek Mitchell got me points, and
Ayo.
Kyle Walker points got me just 2 points. Damn sad, man.
Oh
Shit.
God. But actually,
Oh god.
Arsenal actually played really well, dude. Like, Aubameyang scored a
Yeah.
goal. Gabriel scored a goal.
Willian, 3 assists.
Yeah, dude.
Shit, who would have thought?
I know. Like, who would have thought he would make such an impact, dude?
I know. I was thinking whether I should have him in my team or not. But then I
Yeah,
was like debut game, and
yeah,
he's quite old also. I don't think he's gonna have an impact on all of this stuff. But
true.
what a performance, dude!
Dude,
Amazing performance. I
Mikel
mean that pass
Arteta,
to
yeah, Mikel Arteta
yeah
is
yeah
actually
yeah.
bringing Arsenal back into the limelight. Like, I'm kind of, like, kind of scared and excited to see Arsenal come back to the top four
Well, it's just the
discussion.
first game.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just the first game.
But still, like, in the
It
last
was
season, they actually played really well, right? Like, until when the after the lockdown, they actually played really well. And also with the new
where did
signing
they
that they
finish in the
made,
table?
I think they finished eighth, I think. But that is before
They
the
fa- they they finished behind Wolves and Sheffield, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah, behind Shelf,
Yeah,
Wolves and Sheffield, I think. Yeah. So, but still, like,
yeah.
with the new signing, I feel like Arteta actually knows what he's doing, and also, like, he has gotten the
Hmm.
tutelage of Pep Guardiola. So you obviously
Correct.
expect big things from him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
I mean, like, I think he did pretty well in the second half of the season,
yeah,
wherein players came back after coronavirus and all of that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was
S-
pretty good to
So
see.
Arsenal
And
pretty, yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So Arsenal pretty tidy. Nothing much to say other than very clinical performance.
Yeah, very
Very,
clinical
like,
performance.
yeah, they were in control, and there was nothing that could
Yeah,
kind
it
of
never looked
surprise
like
them.
they were threatened.
Yeah,
Unlike something what happened in yesterday's game,
yeah,
which we will talk about in the
uh,
next
yeah,
episode.
yeah. We'll talk about that.
Like a
Yeah.
Brighton versus Chelsea, where
Oh,
everybody thought that Chelsea's going to dominate the shit
yeah,
out
yeah,
of
yeah.
Brighton, but Brighton played so well.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
talk
get to
about
that
that.
in the next
Yeah,
episode.
we'll talk about the next one. So Crystal Palace and Southampton. This is something I didn't watch the match, but I actually watched the highlights. Crystal Palace actually played really well. Like, they played really well.
Yeah,
Like, they
I
were
didn't
in
watch the
control.
game.
I thought actually Southampton would actually give them more trouble than what they actually did in the match.
Yeah,
But
man, shit. I
yeah,
hope because my goalkeeper is the Southampton goalkeeper, Alex
yeah,
McCarthy,
yeah.
and I had Kyle Peters instead of Tyreek Mitchell. If I had put
Mhm.
Tyreek Mitchell in my team, I would have gotten that clean sheet and 6 points.
Yeah, true,
But
true,
then,
true.
yeah, it's just the
So
first
Crystal
game
Palace
week.
actually look really solid, with Dan and everyone, in the back. They look actually pretty solid in the back as well, and with some new exciting fullbacks as well. Like they're very exciting to when they're going forward as well.
Acha,
Yeah.
acha,
So,
acha.
so it's Crystal Palace, and actually they're
Zaha
playing.
got their score, no?
Yeah, and actually they're
RX
playing.
United player.
Yeah, and they're actually playing United next week. So I'm kind of, kind of on the edge of my
No, I think
seat.
it should be should be United's game.
Yeah, I hope so.
Should
I
be
hope
United's
so.
game.
Yeah. So the next one was West Ham versus Newcastle. This was like
Oh yeah, I saw the first half of the game. It was very interesting. Newcastle played really well.
Newcastle. I would kind of say kind of dominated the game. Like West Ham were so bad, like so bad. David
Acha.
Moyes. Why is he in the Premier League? I don't get it. Why he's in the Premier League? I don't get it. I don't even get why. He ruined United. Now he's gone to another team, Premier League team, and he's gonna ruin them, or even like kinda get them relegated as well. They're so bad with the kind of players that they have. So bad.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Oh my
I
god.
think it's just one of those sentimental things where okay, you've been in the Premier League for the last 12, 13, I think more than that, for
Yeah.
the 50, 20 years, and let's okay, fine. Like, I'll just give you this sort of tukda job, this parachute job. You can
Yeah.
just hang on to it, just survive out of it. Because he knows that if he goes out of Premier League, I don't think he'll get a job even in Championship
Same
or even
dude.
in League One football
And you know
because it's
what?
that bad.
And you know what? Like, call me optimistic. I feel like David Moyes will be the first one who will get sacked in this season. I really feel like he'll be the first one who will
Oh
get sacked this
yeah,
season.
I can't believe Sir Alex Ferguson recommended that
I
douchebag,
know, dude.
and
I
he
know.
spoke so highly of him.
If there
You
is
know
any
when
blunder that Sir Alex made, that would be I would say that would be the only one that he made. Recommending him to be the next United manager.
oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but actually
correct.
Newcastle actually look very very exciting. Like they're attacking. They have Callum Wilson, Andy Carroll. They look like they're gonna actually.
Saint Maximin.
Yeah. They look like they're gonna actually finish in like maybe in the top of the bottom half of the table.
I don't know. Maybe it's too early to because last year they had an absolute shit
Yeah,
season,
I don't
right?
know. But
And
with Rafa
they were
Benitez
piss
getting
poor.
his signings, you never even know. You never know. He might actually turn that team around. He just needs good players. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So I think.
Newcastle. I watched the first half. It was very interesting because they were constantly attacking, and
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they actually look
I
really
mean,
good.
they were always threats on both the flanks,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the new striker that they've got, Callum Hudson.
Callum
What's his
Wilson.
name?
Yeah,
Callum.
Callum Wilson.
So he's Callum Wilson. He's from Bournemouth, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's a proven Premier League scorer.
Yeah.
So he's been a good. I mean, he was a good striker for Bournemouth. And
He's in the England team.
good that they got him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice,
he's in the
nice.
he I think he's a backup striker, so he's in the England team.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest problem with Newcastle. I mean, that was one of the biggest problem with Newcastle last season. They didn't have a proper clinical striker who could
Yeah.
finish and convert stuff for them.
Yeah.
So this season, it'll be interesting to see the link-up plays and the combination of Saint Maximin and Callum Hudson. I mean, Callum
Yeah.
Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Because Saint Maximin is damn good on the wings and he's got his trickery like Neymar-like trickery and he gives good balls into the middle.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting combination to watch. And that's one reason I put Saint Maximin in my team, and he was a very cheap buy as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see Newcastle, but I don't really think that they'll finish as high as you are expecting them to finish.
Mhm.
I still feel like there is the chance of them being relegated.
Yeah. So I think now we can get to the main game.
Yeah, match of the week.
Match of the week for sure. Match of the week for sure. There is no doubt. There is no doubt.
Man,
Where should I start? Where should we start? Where should we start?
I was like, I made my point very clear because we usually have our family prayers going. I mean, that we have in our household. At usually around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I was like, we have to finish prayers by at least 9 o'clock because I want to watch the match. It's a very important game. It's a very exciting game. So yeah, we finished everything, and I got my popcorn and pillows and stuff, and it was like, What a game, dude.
What a
My
game.
God.
What a game, dude.
What a game.
Like,
I did expect it to be a cracker, but not such a rainforest of goals. Not such rainforest of goals.
like even before the match started, like I actually saw a lot of people like talking shit about Bielsa and Leeds, saying that, oh, the Premier League is different, it's all just hype around Bielsa and all that, just because of the documentary they're getting a lot of hype and all that. But Bielsa, man, like he actually like
no, honestly, even I didn't expect Leeds to play this well. Like I did expect some fireworks from their side, but not like this. I mean, Liverpool were pretty much the best defensive team from the last season.
Yeah.
And they conceded the fewest goals. And in the opening match, scoring 3 goals against them, and not just like fuck all goals, like proper quality goals, right? Like proper damn good striker goals.
Like
so it was good to watch.
Yeah, in the last season, like I haven't seen any of the top 4 team play so good against Liverpool. Like they actually played that good against Liverpool. Like if they scored a goal, a counter attack, then they scored a goal. Like the pressing, dude, the pressing, Bielsa press.
Pressing was amazing.
Oh my God! Like the way that they were pressing, like you have to imagine, like they cannot carry this kind of press for like throughout the end of the season. Like they will tire out. Some of them will pick up injuries.
Yeah, players will pick up injury, but that's what Bielsa demands from his players, right?
Yeah.
Either you train very hard and you give it your all, or you fuck off. That's all.
Yeah, true.
Right?
True.
You can't be very lazy like how a Dele Alli is, or somebody like how a Pogba is, right?
Yeah.
You can't have that attitude. You have to have that winning mentality.
Yeah.
And how much they press, man! My God,
I know, dude.
I think this is the first team that Liverpool encountered, and even Klopp admitted in his post-match interview saying that they were really. But tough not to crack,
I actually haven't even seen Liverpool press that much too. Like I've seen Liverpool press, but not to an extent where Leeds
Liverpool used to press intensely when Klopp took over Pool. Right in the I think in the first couple of years of Klopp's reign, they were intense pressers. But at the same time, they used to concede a lot of goals because of that.
And
that's why if you see in the last
season
they. But that's why if you see in the last season, they pressed very less. I mean, they didn't press as much as they used to. That's why they conceded very less, and defensively they were solid after they got Van Dijk and all that stuff. This was just it was just going to and fro, the battle,
I know,
dude. You were just picking up stuff and throwing at each other. Defensively, there were a lot of cracks within the Leeds side. And because when 2 high pressing sides, clash against each other, when the 2 of them press against each other, there is a lot of spaces that you create. It sort of is a breeding ground for defensive errors, and that could be one of the reasons why Leeds ended up conceding 4 goals. But it was damn sad that they had to concede 2 of the goals via penalty, man.
Yeah, and also the quality that Liverpool has when going forward, like Salah, Mane.
Of course.
So
we have to keep in mind. I mean, even though they have not signed any major player, A-League player and all this stuff, any big name signing they haven't done. We still keep forgetting that it is Liverpool from the previous season who is just so good when they attack, right? I think they are second to none when it comes to when it comes to hitting you on the break or that front 3 is just too good. It's almost on the levels of MSN, like Messi, Suarez, and Neymar.
I think the only team in the Premier League that is actually very good, like as good as Liverpool or even like close to them, is United when it comes to counter-attacking or attacking.
Hitting them on the break.
Hitting them
also
on the
Leeds. Leeds, because that's how Leeds scored all their 3 goals.
Exactly.
Because Bielsa always likes to play direct football. There is no triangle passing, tiki-taka shit and all that is going on in their box and all that stuff. He plays a very weird formation, when they attack. So he plays this formation called 3-3-1-3, which is so weird and so strange in something like a physical league in like Premier League, right? So that's why. And Bielsa is such a tactical manager and such an intense manager. He studies the opposition. I think he goes through their entire history. He watches all their games that they played in the previous era. And there's a very interesting fact. So Bielsa, when I think the Leeds board approached him and they were presenting to him, and Bielsa was presenting his capability, like he was trying to sell himself to the board. He had memorized all the 46 games that Leeds played in the previous season. And he listed all those games, all the flaws, all the strengths, everything. He listed it to them. And he identified the flaws in those games and he made it clear what are the loopholes that need to be tied, what are the areas that has to be improved.
Yeah, this
And
was
the
in the
board
documentary,
and
right?
the owner, yeah, this was in the documentary,
Yeah.
and I think Andrea Razziani, right?
Yeah.
And they were so impressed that they had to eventually sign him.
Yeah, true. I mean, he's a top class manager. Like, how can't you sign him? Right.
Genius, absolute
Exactly.
genius. Not many
Like,
people realize that, but
yeah. And also, like, obviously, like, it's such an exciting time because you have so many world class managers in the Premier League when it comes to Pep,
and
Klopp, Mourinho,
yeah,
Bielsa.
correct.
There are so many. Like, even in the lower league teams, like you have Rafa Benitez and you have David Moyes. There are certain people like that who are top class.
Carlo Ancelotti,
Yeah, Carlo
who's
Ancelotti.
managing Everton now.
Yeah, exactly. So we have so many top class managers. It just shows how competitive Premier League is right now. But I have to
Yeah,
say,
that's
like,
one of the best reason why you have to watch Premier League, because it is tactically so masterful, right?
yeah, it is
If
so
you're a
good.
football fan, you get the purest and most amazing quality of football,
Yeah, true, true,
which
true, true.
probably won't get anywhere else.
Yeah. So, like, I'm just imagining, like, if Leeds played so well against a top team like Liverpool, like, I'm just imagining how are they going to play like teams who are in the bottom 10, I kind of feel like they're going to finish above, like like how Sheffield finished last season, like in the top six.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to do something like that because the way that they
I
played against
really hope
Liverpool.
so.
Yeah,
I
I
really
know
hope so.
I'm judging into conclusion just by watching one game, but judging on the track record of Bielsa and how Leeds play, like I feel
Yeah.
like the Premier
Yeah.
League is not ready for them, except for some of the top teams, top 3, top 2 teams.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
because the only
Unless you have a manager who is as intense with his preparation as Bielsa is, I don't think it's very easy to crack for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you look at their team, they don't have like world class people. Like it's just that the sum of the whole. I mean, what is that thing? Sum of all individuals is better than the whole part. What is that thing? Sum of everything is better than the whole of the part. Something it's called, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, we completely screwed that up, but still, they are so good as a unit, as one whole unit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like even when it comes to their formation, such weird formations, they and when they attack, I think half of their team is there in the attacking box.
Yeah.
Which is damn weird, because if you look at other players, it's always the attacking midfielders and the strikers that is there in the attack.
Yeah.
Here, I think everybody and the defensive line is so high, except the defenders, I think everybody is there in the attacking box. Because if you look at the third goal, I think there were 5 or 6 players in the Liverpool box.
Like, yeah, they put the pressure on the midfield, like, the opponent. Yeah, they put the pressure on the midfield, like, yeah.
And even if you're the best defenders in the world, you just don't know whom to mark because it is just overloaded.
Yeah, true. Like, we even saw a player like a top class player like Van Dijk make a mistake when it came to the second goal, right? Yeah. Like it's so that's kind of like
that goal was damn stupid.
That was like really stupid. Like even Brentford, like he actually got very lucky with that goal. I kind of felt like that he actually did not play that well. Even with that goal, he got a little lucky just because he pressed a little bit and came to Van Dijk.
Bamford, it's said that Bamford is not a very good striker because he's had more shooting opportunity in the previous championship championship. And he's converted only like 16 of them or something.
Yeah.
But his shooting ratio to his chances created ratio is very high.
I think that's why maybe they bought in Rodrigo as well, right, from Valencia.
Rodrigo. But so sad, no? Rodrigo had to concede the penalty.
Yeah, in his first match. Yeah, in his debut match as well.
Yeah.
And it didn't even score. Yeah. But I think like they're playing Fulham next. So I feel like that's going to be a route.
Should be an easy game. I don't know, maybe.
Fulham
was really Fulham was destroyed by Arsenal, right?
3-0. 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. So I feel like
they were also one of the promoted teams.
Yeah.
Along with Leeds.
But I like Fulham look like they're going down for sure. Like, they're playing so bad against all the other teams. And when they play against Leeds, like we'll truly know whether they can actually like put up actually get out of the relegation zone. But like I have to say, Leeds, like they actually like with that match against Liverpool, they actually like made other teams notice that they're in the Premier League, and other teams need to take them seriously.
Correct.
And it's going to be exciting to see how they go up against like the top 4 teams, especially Pep Guardiola's team. Like when they have a relationship between both of them, and both of them know each other so well as well. So I'm excited to see how that's going to go about.
because as a newly promoted side, right,
Yeah.
you're put in this vicious circle of Premier League where it
Yeah.
is completely different. It's a completely different ball game,
Exactly.
and you can't bring your championship strategies, which may or may not work.
Yeah.
So the transition is not that easy when you go from tier 2 to tier 1, and
Yeah.
Premier League is known as the best league for the right reasons.
Yeah.
So I was a little skeptical. I of course knew the potential that they had, because they've been. I mean, the counter attacks, the pace at which they break
Yeah.
has been absolutely deadly, and
Yeah.
they've been one of the most standout English teams to watch out. Like
Yeah.
if you had followed their championship matches,
Yeah.
but always there is that question if you can deliver on the same spirit in the Premier League,
Yeah. True.
because
True.
that's where all your strategies, all your skills come into output.
Yeah.
So that question was always there, but I think Leeds, like you said, has
Yeah.
sent a message loud and clear that yes, we are
Yeah.
fighting back.
Yeah, and
What a
also,
game! What a
like I
game
would
it
say
was.
that it actually helped Leeds a lot to play like the way that they did against Liverpool is because there were no fans in Anfield. Like I feel like if the fans were present
Correct,
in Anfield, like
correct.
that would have actually like put in a lot of advantage for Liverpool as
Put a
well.
lot of pressure on them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, true, true, true.
I completely agree with this.
Yeah, yeah.
Completely agree
And
with
I
that.
actually heard a
I think
lot
that's
of
why it's
yeah, I actually heard a lot of people
yeah,
say
yeah.
that, I think Liverpool might actually suffer a little bit this season because like there are no fans in Anfield. Like I think that's one of the main reason why, Liverpool.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know, like
I
I
don't know.
don't
That
agree
could
with
be.
that, but there were some people who are saying that, Liverpool might
Yeah,
not play as
home
good.
games, they might not have that advantage.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. So I don't think they might play as good as they did last season and all that. But this season for sure, I'm
Mhm.
expecting a very close race when it comes for the title. I don't think it's gonna be as open
City
as
and yeah,
as open as last year.
yeah,
So I feel like,
yeah,
but let me
yeah.
ask you this question: like, yeah, like we have seen Bielsa play against Liverpool, right? Like, which team
Mhm.
or which manager do you think can actually cope up with or kind of give a fight to Bielsa, or kind of shut him down?
I mean, there are two sides to it.
Yeah.
Pressing wise, I did know that Klopp will probably employ the same tactics as Bielsa does.
Mm-hmm.
But the other manager who can definitely challenge Bielsa is Guardiola, because you know how Guardiola, they solely rely on the wings, on
Yeah.
their flanks. Like
Yeah.
they try and separate as wide as possible,
Yeah.
which is exactly also what, like if you put it in context, that is exactly what these guys also do. Leeds also does.
Yeah.
But Guardiola is such a brilliant manager, tactically such a brilliant manager.
Yeah.
And they have probably the best midfield and strikers in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
not in the world, in the Premier League for sure.
True.
I mean, definitely besides the Liverpool side.
Yeah.
So they have the quality as well, and they are deadly on counter attacks as well.
Yeah.
So
For
that
me,
will be interesting.
yeah. So for me, I know this is gonna be a little bit biased, but I don't care. I feel like United actually would be like a pretty good team to go up against Bielsa, because I'm not just saying because I'm a United fan. I'm saying that because of how we played against team who actually pressed us like last season. Like the only critic when it comes to United is like Solskjaer and the United team that we have right now is actually really good against team who actually come and try to attack us and who press us. Like we get the ball and then we counter attack and then we score the goal. That's what we did like in
Correct.
the entire lockdown, right? The only time we suffer is when a team sits back and when they get defensive. Like that is like have been one of the most irritating thing about United is to see them break another team down. That is what we cannot do.
But I think Leeds are not one of those teams, because they definitely don't have a strategy like that.
Yeah.
So I think United, on the other hand, if they employ a 4-2-3-1 strategy, like if you have a proper two defensive midfielders who can cut their transition, like when Leeds are attacking and you have two midfielders who can cut them.
Yeah.
So if they employ that tactic, I think it will work out for
like
us.
I don't
But because
when we play Leeds, like I don't want to see Matic in that field, like with him passing the ball like so slowly, like they're gonna just tackle him like 2 seconds before like he even touches the ball and then take it away from him. Like the problem I don't
defensively
think
he's provided that stability actually. Like he is definitely getting old and all of that stuff. But if you compare to all the other, I mean not Pogba, if you compare to McTominay and maybe I don't know about Van de Beek, compared to McTominay, his range of passing is pretty good. He's got great vision.
Yeah,
and
but it takes a lot of time on the ball. That's the only critic about Matic that I don't like.
He's got aging legs. No, that's fair.
Yeah, true. And with Liverpool, like even though they haven't made any signing, like they look so good. Like it's kind of like bizarre to see.
They've looked good for the last 2 years, so it's not very surprising. Like we thought that they might be challenged, but definitely,
and also
4 goals scoring against Leeds also is a huge statement that they are making.
Yeah, and also there are a lot of rumblings saying that they might even sign Thiago. So signing Thiago, like imagine that
there's
midfield.
Also rumors that there's rumors that he might come to United, but I don't think United is going to sign him because we got Van de Beek.
Yeah.
So I think he might go to Liverpool, because why not? Liverpool offers all the incentives to join them, right?
But even if Thiago was available to United, I don't think like our inept board wouldn't sign him. Like they're still so behind that Sancho deal. Like I don't even see them.
They pulled the plug. They pulled the plug on Sancho deal.
No, it hasn't been pulled. No, there hasn't been pulled yet.
It has. And apparently United has 3 alternatives to Sancho. Guess who are these alternatives?
So that, I actually seen that article. Okay, but those are like just like, so what happens is like when there are many medias, right? Like English media and certain other medias in their country. Like so, certain teams actually like have certain people who in their media where they give out information so that they can get a leverage with another team by putting out fake information. So United actually have people like that in the English media as well. So when you look at someone like Fabrizio Romano, who is actually giving out like news after news, and it's all accurate. Like he hasn't mentioned anything about the Sancho deal. So the only thing that he has mentioned is the terms have been agreed between the player. The only roadblock when it comes to the deal is the bid. Like United still haven't made a bid.
Yeah, I've seen this tweet of his.
Yeah. So that is the only blockade where United still can't see through. So the Sancho deal is still on. Like we haven't made any headway, but the deal is still on. But I think the alternatives are just being made up by the media. I don't think that's true. And the alternatives are so bad, dude. So bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
Correct.
Gareth
All
Bale,
of them are like
Diego Costa,
Bale, Douglas Costa.
Yeah,
and who's
Douglas
the other
Costa.
one? Another old player.
Ivan Perisic.
Perisic, yeah.
Dude. Are we running a football team or a retirement home? I don't even know what we are trying to do. It's so bad, dude. Like we already have so many deadwood that we can't even sell right now, and we are we're gonna go and get so many old players and so bad. Like Gareth Bale, he hasn't played like the entire season in I think 1 or 2 seasons in Real Madrid.
I think you'll have to you'll have to put a clause in his contract saying that half of the season you can play golf.
Yeah,
then
exactly.
He'll come. Then he'll come. You can eliminate his astronomical wages as well.
600k per week. 600k.
Just a liability for United.
I mean, we already suffered because of Sanchez's 500k, 600k. This guy would like bankrupt United for an entire season. Like it's not even funny. And I think did you just hear the new news that we are actually going after a defensive midfielder? I just saw this before we started recording. So there is a Valencia player. His name is Uros Rasic, I think.
Oh no.
So he's a 22-year-old midfielder. So
from Valencia, is it?
Yeah. So he's a Serbian international. So his name is Uros. It's a Serbian name, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. So his name is Uros Rasic. So he's actually been heavily linked with United, and there are some rumblings saying that the United are actually gonna sign him and Reguilon. From the Spanish league.
Who are we not linked with? Who are we not heavily linked with?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You never know. We might even sign some other player from a different sport and bring him to play football in our team.
Yeah. We might get Usain Bolt because Usain Bolt loves Man United.
Exactly.
And we'll pay 1 million per week for him.
Exactly. Like Liverpool should be scared that when Usain Bolt comes on the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Correct,
it's just
exactly.
insane.
I mean, Van Dijk has to piss his pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Van Dijk will be like, fuck, I can't deal with this.
I can't do this. I can't run like this. But it's ridiculous.
Alisson will just open his arms and move aside, and he'll be like, yes, please.
Yeah, just please.
Smash into the goal. Into the goal.
But
put it in the top corner.
Exactly. It's like I'm so done with United transfer right now. I'm not even following anything. I'm like, let's just end the transfer. Like it's so boring. Let's go demotivating. Like other teams, like if you're a Chelsea fan, like imagine how exciting it is for you. Like getting one transfer after another. But as a United fan, it's so demotivating, dude. Oh my God. Yeah,
It has been for the last 7 years, so
yeah, I
it's just
know.
like any other day.
Yeah, the board is so inept. Like, I think there are some news who are saying that, like the Zara founder, I think the Ortega family,
Huh.
they actually were actually
Yeah.
looking to buy United from the
What is his name?
Glazers.
Amancio Ortega or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah. They were actually looking to buy the United. I mean, to buy United from the Glazers family.
Okay. Another rumored ownership rumor is that Mohammed bin Salman, who
Mohammed
is
bin
the
Salman.
crown prince of Dubai,
Yeah.
is rumored to have have interest in United and planning to buy United. This is I think very historic news.
Yeah.
It's a very old news. At that time, he was planning on buying United for 4 billion,
Yeah.
which is just absolutely ridiculous.
But
I
they
mean, which is
said,
what we are valued at, but then.
yeah, but they said no, and so that's why he went towards Newcastle, right? And then that didn't happen, and then
Oh,
Newcastle
he's
fans
the
were,
owner of Newcastle, is it?
no, no, no. He actually wanted to buy Newcastle from Mike Ashley. So he wanted to
Okay.
buy the club. I think it was 350 million or 400 million what he was offering. So
Okay.
Mike actually accepted that bid, okay. But then there was some
Hmm.
sporting, I mean, broadcasting rights between BN Sports and like there was some dispute between Saudi Arabia and I think it was another country was Qatar. I think was it Qatar or
Okay.
some other Middle Eastern country where they
Hmm.
don't like they have bad blood between each other. So because of that, the Premier League stepped
Oh,
in and then they said, no, you can't do all this and all that. Then they canceled that deal and Newcastle fans went crazy because of that. And then that
okay.
whole thing happened, and all that. But I hope
Hmm.
someone
They would
buys our
have,
club from the Glazers. It's
yeah.
such a,
If Newcastle was bought by, yeah, I mean, whichever club MBS buys,
yeah,
that
for
club is
sure.
just going to be another city. I mean,
City.
it's just going to be a City 2.0, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Or
sure,
a
sure.
PSG 2.0.
For sure, for sure.
So
I
it'll
hope
be fun to see that.
there is a billionaire listening who is actually a United supporter, like true and true United supporter
Yes,
who buys us.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's definitely going to be.
please buy, please buy United and please sponsor us also
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you're
Yeah, that would be
listening to
so
this.
nice. Yeah, true, true, true. Oh my God. But I hope this transfer and I mean, I hope he signs Jadon Sancho and I hope this transfer
Yeah,
market ends soon. Right.
yeah.
So I think,
So I think
yeah,
another news I read was that we've finally made an official bid for Reguilon, and
yeah,
Reguilon really wants to come to United.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't know.
But the only
Like,
thing
do you think
standing,
27 or 30 million is too much for Reguilon?
no, no, no.
I think it's worth it
I
because he's
think the
a
price is actually not the factor that United is not willing to sign Reguilon. So what the problem there is, Real Madrid actually want to put in a buyout clause, I mean,
yeah,
buyback
yeah.
clause in his
Buyback clause. Yeah,
buyback clause in his contract, and United don't want that. So that is
correct,
the
correct.
only
Oh, by
negotiating
the way,
blockade that I have.
Alex Telles's price has dropped to 18.5 million.
18.5 million. So there
So
you there,
because his contract
yeah,
is expiring in 2021, they don't
yeah,
want to risk him to, risk him going on free.
yeah,
So they are willing to sell him at 18.5,
yeah.
which again
True,
is a
true.
very good bargain price
Yeah. So if regular
that
deal
United
doesn't
can look
happen,
to buy him at.
I think we'll go for Alex Telles.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
but
see what happens. I
yeah, let's
think
see what
on
happens.
that note,
Yeah,
we can call it a day. We'll do a part two of this podcast because we
yeah.
still haven't discussed
About the match
the
day
Saturday,
second.
Sunday. Saturday we covered, no?
Yeah,
Sunday
Saturday we
games,
cut
the
Sunday
games that
games,
happen
and
on
also we're gonna
Sunday and
talk
Monday
about,
games.
yeah, talk about some transfers also.
Yeah, and we will talk about the impact the superstar signings that Chelsea made on
Oh yeah,
Chelsea's
I
first
was so
games.
excited to
Of
talk about
course,
that, but we'll hold that off for Thursday. I have so many
Dhanush,
things to say.
Dhanush had a horrible weekend because he
Oh
thought
my
Kai
God,
Havertz is going to score a hat trick, and
I
he gave him no points. Oh, guys, by the way, fuck, I made a horrible blunder by taking Son instead of Salah,
I know.
and
We'll
Salah
talk about
gave,
it on Thursday. We'll talk.
yeah,
I
yeah,
have so
yeah.
I want to cool down I want to like cool down myself and I want to take out my frustration on something else so that I don't say shit about all the
Yes,
players that
yes,
I picked
yes.
up for FPL. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope I get
We'll
some
do an
really good
FPS special in
points.
the next episode.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. It's still the first game week.
Yeah,
We have a lot
It's
of
still the
time
first
ahead.
time. Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, so that's it for this episode. Is there anything else that you want to say,
Yes.
Steven?
No, no, not much, not much.
That's
I
all
hope
right.
we sign Sancho. That's all.
Yeah, that's
I think until we sign, guys, Mr. Glazer
yeah,
and Mr. Edward, Ed Woodward, if you're listening to this,
yeah,
please, first of all, please subscribe and please sign. please, this is just, I mean, we are almost down to begging now.
Yeah.
But please,
Yeah.
again, please do anything. If
Yeah.
not Sancho, some other good player, please sign. We
Yeah,
need the right.
Stebin, you are even willing to send your salary to him if they want some money to sign Sancho.
Not so much, but I'm willing to go bald again. So I don't mind doing that.
That's really
But please
nothing.
do
That's
a
really
major
nothing.
signing.
Looking at your head right now, that's really nothing. You gotta sacrifice more, man. You
By
gotta
the
sacrifice
time,
more.
by the time we pull the plug on Sancho, it'll come back. I think it's going to take that much time.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, guys, if
yeah.
you enjoyed this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you go to Spotify and follow us there and listen to us.
Comment. Let's have a discussion. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys have any opinion, let us know.
We will try and release 2 episodes per week. We'll try our best to do that because we have no other work nowadays. So we'll try and do that. Yeah. So please do let us know. Let us know in the comments if there is anything interesting that you all want to discuss. So we'll try and do that. We'll try and do research on it and try and discuss it. Exactly. Again, we will. I think we'll have to tell this every episode. We are no experts. It's just their opinions. It's just 2 fans talking.
Disclaimer.
So please,
I'm just gonna put it in the description. That's it. So we don't have to say every single episode.
We'll put it in the description. We'll make a top comment. I mean, considering that will be the only comment on our video, we'll make it the top comment and we'll pin it. We'll pin it
just to make ourselves feel better. So that's it. Yeah. So we'll see you in the next one. See you guys.
See you guys. Bye bye.